Getting some mixed interpretations about this painting, and I welcome all interpretations because not only is beauty in the eye of the beholder, but everyone has their own perceptions, and it's very neat. So I'm going to explain what's going on here. Okay, the babies. Now, the babies, okay, are being led, okay, blindly, okay, without identity. It doesn't matter. Okay, originally this was going to be chains, a bunch of chains with nippies, gold bars, carrots, and keys, okay, that are extending from each ethnic religious mentality that these groups have that and holds and promote that they're continuing to feud over. Okay, so they're leading babies and generations and families blindly into their war against each other. Okay, and America is involved because they're over here, and a lot of their families did come over here innocently because they wanted a better life under the context of freedom, liberty, and justice for all. And America gets to watch because America is basically the Christian values of America, not Catholic, allow everyone to have a say and be treated equal from the get-go as a base with that respect of freedom, liberty, and justice until they start creating victims and atrocities and hurting people. And that's why the flags are going this way, because we want progression in America. And these are happening in other countries while America is around, and they are within America to view and witness this, and also protected and by America in two different ways, whether it's actual protection or facilitation or whatever, because their people are here. Okay, and the ground is filled with skulls and bullets and body parts, skeletons, but not body parts or blood and guts, because I didn't want to make this picture about that. And in the background where these are coming from, which now, is engulfing America, it's devastation and war and destruction and bad stuff. So, like, America and God go together in the respect, unlike what Obama had did by taking prayer out of schools and taking away our Pledge of Allegiance, which really incapacitated us. But, the real America's in the middle, and we're just lying low and still watching because God has given us an example of what happens when you have a discriminatory book promoting a religion or ethnicity and mentality that oppresses other people based on their non-adherence to those ways and books, which is basically playing a favoritism. And America has a favoritism for those that want to be treated as they want to treat others, and that general self-respect that leads to family respect, that leads to respect for your common man, which is absent in a lot of these circumstances because there's condemnation going on that not only are the American people less, but anybody that's not within their religious context is less. And unlike the Catholics, a lot of American churches don't have the bloody Jesus is in there. So that's not just, you can't group Christians as a whole, just as you can't really group all the Palestinians and Israelis and Jewish people as a whole, but they will follow because of the money and the keys and the carrots and the nippies and, that level of respect. And there's a lot of guns and stuff on the ground that the kids are learning to pick up. And like this one, like they may be actually tethered too. I just didn't want to get into detail because it would take away from the meaning and my general amount of time and resources because of stuff like this has taken away from America's growth, which directly affects me as an artist. But I'm blessed to be in America because there's other countries where I guess I would be shot for this kind of stuff or jailed. And, the bullets are going where their heart is because they really have it in their heart that they want to kill each other and dismiss all kind of human rights values and just consideration for their own families and upbringing to to let them live and let them make their own choices. But what you will notice is there's an abundance of like unwritten, children with their mentalities are unwritten and being written by these people purveying. There's books there, and what it is those books are promoted in those regions. That's why you could say that these are, those religious books, and they're covered with flags. And no one is perfect. That's why I didn't allow that line to be there, because none is perfect. None is perfect, and it's just ridiculous. From my point of view, like, I had a lot of people saying that, oh, it's not equal, it's not balanced, but it doesn't matter. The thing that matters is there are innocent people dying, and there probably were kids playing together that were, Israeli and Palestinian, Jewish Palestinian kids, or Iran or whatever. And somewhere down the line, they were forced to take a side because of the influence and threat of not being accepted, or being killed, or you being limited, and, you're not allowed to grow, and we're not going to support you because you're not like us. And that's why I chose to put the crucifix of Christian symbolism, not Catholicism, on the American flags, because our forefathers did say, I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one nation for which it stands under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we don't get to take a contract anymore because of people like Obama. And, that contract is not there. There's not even a verbal contract for us to respect each other. And by saying God, it means a higher power to people like me. And I define it as the Spirit of the Almighty, the power of goodness, and the force of creation, because I'm an artist. So either way, as America is all around and even in the middle, and we're getting to witness what futility and tyranny and terrorism looks like, okay, in the line and perception of a progressive forward movement. Now, nobody's perfect, and no country is perfect. And America does have demonic, evil people here, but they are kind of individuals and in small groups, where these countries that are feuding forever, okay, they have these groups that are massive and basically dominate and monopolize the whole country. So that's another reason why there's these flags representing the books, and they're in the feud together. It does point the finger at them, because there's other regions that are at war right now too, but it's for a different reason. But there is a general hate coming from this group and this group against each other, and if Americans don't adhere to taking a side to one of their hates, we are rolled into the mix as the enemy and as a target for them, I feel, because I've been treated like shit by both sides, and I've had people being nice to me by both sides. But when it comes down to the religion, it's just like speaking a language. If you don't speak the language, you're going to be cut out at some point, and they're going to talk about you. So this is why I feel, like, America, we deal with one evil person at a time, or small groups of evil people at a time. It would be very sad if we lost all the context, which it won't happen, because our forefathers were brilliant and they had good hearts and their intentions were good, and they did foresee the future of things, not just, sanctified and designated to the groups that existed at that time even. So that's why, simple people, laymen's and commoners and private people can have rights here too, and work so they could get paid and compensated for their efforts so they could support their families. But, under the illusion of benefit, or under the pressure of threat, under the guilt of obligation, these books right here are promoting that you commit and obligate yourself to their ancestral intent and all that. And, I'm half Greek, Cyprian Greek. So believe me, I know what it's like to be around people to feel like their civilization is lost, especially when artifacts have been stolen, and put in museums, and the country's so small and it's, busted up now. But I don't care about that, because I'm American first and foremost, and any other land is actually under a bigger threat than America. And, as much as the guns are a problem, there's too many guns that these people have for Americans not to have guns. So, and at the end of the day, it's a painting, okay? And I always liked Currier knives. I had a Currier knives book once. It got lost in the mix because, I suffered, was victimized by my own people in ways, based on the same context that I wasn't following. But it's not like a whole country at war of innocent people. We get a chance here. And I was freed by my respect for the American context and ideals of freedom, liberty, and justice for all. And these people do not have that. And they're not displaying it. And that's the whole meaning, is as Americans, we get to see this as a lesson for ourselves, and the world gets to see this, and hopefully the older people that are actually continuing to promote these things and telling their kids that you're entitled to live a free life and, not have to work for it, and, everybody else can die to give you what you need. That's not where we're at. And, there's a lot going on here. So this is the picture, and, America is engulfed in the devastation and in the middle, unfortunately, and it sucks. And hopefully we can get by it quicker than expected, but that's basically the base meaning of that picture. I'm sure that there's a couple other things that may be revealed in time. Not even I know, because I just go on the spirit and the energy. I try to be very neutral, because as an artist, I've been in other countries. I've worked for many diversified groups. I've sat with both of these people's members of their communities in private and with their families to a degree, because as an artist, I paint signs and I draw pictures and I do tattoos. So I get on a personal level with all these people. And I tried not to make it like descriptive of what guns are there, although the guns and the bullets are clearly guns and bullets, because that's not like something that's a hobby thing for me. So I didn't care to be like descriptive, about the armament and, artillery or what have you. But basically that's the meaning, and, people want to say this and that about it, and that's fine. You're perfectly welcome to purchase this picture for the right price and do what you want with it. But at the end of the day, it's metaphor, and it's symbolizing of what's going on, and it is a valid perception, and it is what it is. And I didn't create this out of nothing. This created itself, and I was the venue and the segue for it to transpire and materialize, because this is I think a lot of people may feel like I feel too. And at the end of the day, again, I feel comfortable and confident and good that we're learning from this, and that, the people that are learning and are observant and not violent, we're protected by America and shielded by that. And we will stick up for it, and we will fight for it, whether there are internal outbursts or not. We're learning from it. So that's the context of this picture. Enjoy.